Okie doke. So let me.
Oh, we did it.
Hello, love.
Hello, darling. I
Oh,
don't know who
George.
thought that after everything, she's lost everything, we made it happen. At least someone's got over a bloody 1,000 people following them.
I'm trying to grab my chair. Oh, let me go into the room before we start, or we can even get started while I'm plotting along. Being authentic, love. Being authentic.
Oh, exactly. Trying to figure out how to do this.
Yeah. So it took us a few goes, but we finally got there. So thanks to teamwork.
Two very untech humans trying to work out how to get online. Now, that's the fun part of it all.
And here we are. So hang on, where's the light? So it looked good. Okay, here's the light now. Thanks. All right. Okay, we have jumped on here, people today, humans, our beautiful friends, to share with you some tips and insights on our sacred return immersion that's coming up on the 28th of February. And we thought we'd just go live so we can
Share,
show up.
babes.
Yeah, so we can be here, share what we need to share or whatever. If anyone's going to jump on and share any questions, or I suppose why we're doing this, why you should come, and I suppose, yeah, Mel.
Oh, I suppose, yeah. Well, I suppose, yeah. So basically, I mean, I think for us, collaborating, we've been doing this for over 12 months, like you've shared in your stories. But I think having a full day, an immersion where there's more space to drop in, there's more space to be. And I find when we do the shorter ones, everyone takes a while to unravel and unwind. So giving us the time to hold you longer and to be able to check out for a whole day in a sense to like check out of your everyday life, because most people are rushing or doing or having to go back to normal life. This is helping you kind of have the space to really allow yourself to drop in. And Michelle and I kind of work very separately but together in our day together, which I really love because we both bring very different energy. But what it does, it's a beautiful integration and flow from where you start to where we sort of finish. And I think it's this beautiful journey throughout the day of how it's guided deeper and deeper within yourself, but also in a way that it keeps you very connected to your body, keeps you grounded. We're working into the human in the sense of helping you understand yourself in relation to your life, in relation to how you react every day, in the practical things, not just leaving and going to have this great experience. We want you to walk out with an understanding of who you are and why you relate to your world through the reactions and through the way that you've created, through probably coping mechanisms, the way you're showing up. And we want to sort of rock that foundation a little bit, because you can't keep building new identities and creating new ways of being on an old foundation. So we want to rock that old foundation where you're wired to childhood, where everything's unconsciously locked in, that kind of keeps you in this emotional loop. We want to unlock that for you and give you a whole day of immersion, in a sense, not only with sound, not only with breath, but connection, guidance, space to really reflect through the processes and practices that we'll do, that you can then take into your daily life and consciously activate moment to moment in your life. It's not just like, let's do it here, have a great time, have a great experience. We want you to be able to walk away and give yourself permission to activate that in your everyday life.
And that's what it comes down to. So by the time, because because Mel and I are doing this over a full day, there is going to be time, whether if it's in a circle connection or if you need some time to walk out on Mel's property, because that's where we're holding this immersion. it will give you time and space to take in what you need to take in and allow your body and the nervous system to come back to where it needs to be. And at the end of the day, if we can all learn, and as we are learning and moving through all these old beliefs and this old programming, it's all coming back to love, and it's all coming back to our heart connection. How are we feeling today? If I'm feeling out of sorts, what's coming up for me? Is this a trigger? Is this resistance? Do I feel good? And just sharing and just connection. And we're going to be having cacao, and I'll be talking about soul purpose and alignment. How does that look for every single person that is going to be with Mel and I for the day? And then integrating with the sound healing, and then with Mel's breath. And it's just going to be one of the most, we're going to have organic food as well, and just time to connect in a
And I
really.
think that's a huge part is there is so much rushing and ticking off the to-do list and being somewhere that you're actually just doing somewhere instead of being somewhere. We want this to help you give yourself permission to really get curious about why you are in that nervous system reaction and where it could have stemmed from, what it's activating in you, how you create those coping mechanisms, which is your personality, how to sort of see that in your everyday life, because it's not a one and done. This is a process of consciously reconnecting to not only move towards what makes you feel good, but also to get curious about the things that we've deemed unlovable, the things that we have moved away from, to protect ourselves from not wanting to, look into those boxes of what we don't want to feel. And something with my breath work, the sound, and like you said, bringing that alignment, we get to sort of activate in what we want to receive, but also too in the receiving. Love will always show us what isn't love. You're talking about love. It's like, well, what isn't love within me that I'm holding from a belief or a wound from the past that's getting activated through wanting to receive this experience or this feeling in my life? We want to see what's limiting us. We want to see the reality of what is, so that we can feel worthy enough to receive. We can surrender into the body. We can start to allow that to be our way of being instead of doing. And what that does with the nervous system, every time we're receiving and we're staying longer and we're allowing ourselves to see probably the shadow aspect, the opposite of what we want to feel and receive, we're giving that space and validation and acceptance. And when we stay long enough to hold that without judgment, but acceptance and recognizing it's there and there's feelings attached to it and probably a little aspect of you start to create a different capacity for your nervous system to hold you. Not only to let go, but also to receive what you desire, to receive what you're ready to step into. So it's kind of a two-way thing, because we're always wanting to recognize where we want to open to and get familiar with that feeling, but we also want to release what is familiar that keeps us limited, that we stay because it is familiar. We want to build a new now moment of familiar, so the nervous system isn't always pulling you back to the past. But if you don't have an anchor in to what you want to receive either, you're kind of like moving into somewhere, but you don't know the next step. So we want to practice receiving, like what you're going to open people to with the sound and receiving the sound, and to be able to surrender into their bodies with it. And then as we start to recognize what feels uncomfortable in receiving, because a lot of us are great givers, but we also limit the receiving. We don't know how to receive. We don't know how to surrender. We don't know how to soften towards ourselves, let alone taking that protective armor off ourselves to allow the world in. And so this is about allowing yourself to see yourself, that it's not scary for others to see you.
And what a beautiful experience. And I think my key word at the moment is for being uncomfortable, let's get uncomfortable to become comfortable.
Bloody hell. I don't think the journey's ever comfortable. I think it's you find an expansion in your nervous system that you can hold what used to be uncomfortable, that now becomes actually something that doesn't, you keep moving in the levels of the capacity of what you're open to receive, that once you wouldn't have even touched and run away from, and you would have avoided that. And then now you get to stay a little longer and recognize why you didn't stay. Everything's so intricately woven between our mind and our body, which is then, attached to moments in time in our past. And if we can't work out the human first, before we even go to the inner child stuff or start to open to our gifts, we're never really going to hold ourselves. And the reason why people get to these places and start doing shadow work and inner child work and then start receiving all these downloads, they don't have the capacity to hold it in their human body. So we've got to build the capacity, create the foundation, understand why we have had the life we've had, where it started from, so that we can really see ourselves in reality. Most of us don't see ourselves in reality because we're always trying to create the next version of ourselves on an old foundation and wonder why it collapses all the time.
That's right. And that's what it comes down to. If we can live, and you'll hear terminology of 3D. So working with Mel will be able to open us up, but also ground us in this 3D. If we can get grounded and connected in every ounce of our body, that's when we can make the change. And that's when we can understand. That's when we can become more aware. That's when we become more open.
It's creating safety as well. And I think safety is a huge thing that most of us haven't really experienced, or we're expecting someone to create safety for us. Most of us actually don't know what safety feels like in our body because we never actually had it. So for us to understand it, we need to be able to stay long enough and build self-trust to then build a safety in our own body so we recognize what it is. Because self-trust and safety, I feel, come together and the nervous system can relax in a way that you're holding yourself through whatever is coming up, whatever challenge you're reacting to. You will not stay here in protection. You'll move into here and start to feel through it. And then we can clear, once we can pull ourselves and reclaim those parts, we can sort of transmute that energy because we're staying long enough to do it. And so it's about sort of like you talk about 3D and 5D. It's really about understanding your humanness to hold your soul self.
Yeah.
And so that your soul can lead instead of your humanness constantly reacting to it because you don't trust yourself or you don't have the capacity to hold yourself. And that's a practice. That's a moment to moment awareness that we want to be able to give you the experience so you have understanding of what that feels like, a safe place to maybe look at yourself in the uncomfortable emotion and have someone see and hold you without judgment or disapproval or whatever it may feel to you when you start to have emotion. Some people can't even connect to that because they know it all. They have the knowledge, but not the awareness of what it feels like in their body. And we disconnect in the sense and wonder why we're in the loop, because what's really going on is in here. The energy that we hold in our body is not going to change in what we do in our mind. It does help in the sense to be aware of the thoughts, but the thoughts are fueled by the feelings in the body. So I think humans can understand in a way to come back to their mind first to recognize this is going, but it really starts from here. It starts from the body. It's had a reaction, a feeling has come towards it, and you've normally suppressed it and then gone straight up to here. So we want to give you the chance to learn how to drop out of that, drop into the safety of the body so that you can start to reconnect to yourself and explore the limits that lay within you that stop you from seeing yourself or knowing yourself. Because a lot of us, I know you know this too, feel like we're stuck in a knowing that there's more there, but it's like on a site, you just can't access it, but you don't know how to access it. The only way we can access it when we trust ourselves to feel, because we only know through the sensations and the feelings in our body what that is in the human for us to have that openness in our heart to tap into our higher self and source and whatever support we are looking for or know we're ready to step into, it's kind of all through here, not through here.
That's right. So it's becoming, having a relationship with ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
having a full relationship with ourselves and not seeing ourselves for, see, judging, making any
Mm-hmm.
assumptions. It is, you will come to this transformation immersion with Mel and I, and you will learn from where you were, from when you walk in that door to
Mm-hmm.
having connection to working through what we need to work through for that particular day without putting anything on it,
Yep.
to even the integration part for when you leave, when Mel and I will be doing the VIP and following up with everybody, making sure that everybody's okay, making sure if their emotions are okay, just
Mm-hmm.
okay, and how we're feeling, and on it's a day-to-day moment basis. With
Mm-hmm.
Mel and I, we're holding a space for, is it 10, Mel?
10.
It's, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Only 10, intimate, small, because then you'll get a lot of one-on-one time. Plus, there's time to connect in the way that we'll have lunch together. There's space to, like you said, walk around the property. There's no rushing. We're
No.
just going to let the day move in and flow how it needs to be so everyone feels really supported and seen in their individual journey and feel like they've got to a place of least understanding and connection to self before they leave. And I think that's what the longer journey has, well, can offer than the 2 or 3 hours that we do together, where it's a great experience, but there's just no time for when those things move that you can get supported, where you've got both of our support in the day and you're not rushing back to life. You've got time. And I think time, like, even knowing, doing our retreats and having 7 days, even when I was in Bali, that time you can't run away when things get a little uncomfortable. And what you're seeing in reflection to everyone else in the room, is part of you. And we don't feel so alone in that. And when we can trust that everyone's having their individual journeys, but the same experience on a level, we don't feel so isolated and separated. And we also start to go, oh, okay, so everyone else is feeling the same way, even though I've been judging that everybody is doing a lot better than I am. We can, get out of that judgment and comparison and come home and go, no, she's doing a pretty good job navigating what I'm navigating, but I can always keep opening to different tools and ways of seeing myself to learn how to hold myself, because neither Michelle and I want you to need us. We want to empower you to understand yourself so you become that person for yourself, the person that you've always needed, and then the versions of yourself that then come from that safety you create within inside yourself.
So it's also really good, something to point out too. So when we come to this immersion that Mel and I are running, come into it with no thinking, like no expectations, nothing on it except for transformation, except for coming back into heart space and eyes wide open and becoming aware, as you were saying, Mel, to every single one of us in that room, where is everybody going through a journey. And it's how we can hold ourselves, but knowing that it is a small, intimate group, feeling safe, where we can just uplift one another and hold space and just know that everyone's going through it.
Yeah.
Everybody is going through it in this.
And this one also too is just for women. It's a little women's group. Sorry, guys. We will probably do
Yeah.
another one next time with guys, but we just decided for this first immersion that it was going to be women, just with the feminine nervous system, working with some deeper ways for women to reconnect and attune to their bodies, because there's been a way that we've always sort of stepped down in a lot of ways to fulfill other people's needs, and that whole mothering thing and learnt behavior. And I think it came up for both of us that we wanted to be able to share that and hold that for women. And that also then obviously translates through the whole family, because a present mother in the family, a present partner in the family transforms the family through the permission that she gives herself to then hold, to not have to be there to fulfill everyone else, but to show them how to fulfill it themselves.
Oh,
Just, I don't know, it's a beautiful, I'm really looking forward to this. And
oh,
I
me
think that's
too.
why I like it when we kind of get to just have space and we don't have to rush.
Oh,
I think we spend so much time planning, rushing, getting here, organizing things. Yeah. And and this energy, I feel even moving in, if you're not anchored in your own physical form, you're going to constantly feel pulled in a lot of directions because everyone is very reactive in this fast paced energy, and it's really keeping everyone here and racing. And it's really time to step back and observe and get into the body and start to clear that so you can sit back in here. You can start to feel safe. You can root yourself into your own body and feel like you can sit back and not get caught into the momentum of everybody else, and understand yourself in separation to that. And I think that's really important as you start to
oh.
expand and go on this journey, is to know yourself in separation, because you're not here to be the same. We're here to be uniquely us, and that is really important.
Oh, I love this. So cacao,
Yep.
sound healing. We're doing a sharing circle,
And we'll be
breath,
doing a few little processes and things. We'll have a little workbook for the day.
and organic food, and just an intimate group where we can just be.
And of course,
And
you'll be stuck breathing with me too. I don't miss anyone. I keep everyone in their bodies when they breathe. So, and my breath work is a very yin type of breath work. So it's not that forced. It's allowing you to drop in. It's allowing you to feel. I'll keep bringing you back to your body. I'll try and keep you in your body for all those little avoidants that like to float around in the ether. I'll bring you back into the present, into the reality of what is, because we're clearing this. So I think that's the gift. You'll walk away recognizing yourself on some level and having the tools in how you want to sort of expand your capacity each time to receive yourself. And it's a practice and it's a process. And I think this will just give you time and space and support and a really beautiful little group of women that are all in the same place, ready to move to. Because I don't think anyone comes to these days unless they're all meant to be in the room. I just believe everyone who turns up ends up all being there for some reason.
oh,
And that's the beautiful part of not kind of forcing this, and why we wanted to share what the day was about, because we're inviting you. And if it aligns with you, if it inspires something with you, triggers something within you even, let that be your invitation to get curious to what we can offer to hold you to remember yourself. And that's why we called it Sacred Return, because it really is a return to you. It's got nothing to do with us. We're just holding the space for you to remember.
how exciting. Oh my
I know,
God.
right?
Oh,
You're like, I'm so excited about this. We've got to get on live. We're going to tell people what we're doing. She's so freaking funny. And it's a very unique energy that both of us bring, because we're kind of very opposite, but we're opposite but similar in how we hold space. And I think that's the gift in it, where we don't overlap. It's just this kind of two complete separate journeys in one experience that integrate really well and kind of complement each other.
oh, I love this. Thank you.
But don't you think it's nice that there's no competition between us, and I
Oh,
can allow you to be all of you and you can allow me to be all of
all
me.
of you.
And
Yeah.
you if I need you to step in, you're there, and if you need me. But it's not, we don't come into each other's energy unless we know there's permission that we need you. Do you know what I mean? And I love that, without there feeling competition, even in the way we set this up. It's not, you need to do this. There's a flow in it. And I think the intention behind that energy really does translate in what we gift, in the way how we hold the space together. And that's why I like working with you, because I can be all of me and you can be all of you with no judgment. And that's how I want to show up everywhere with all my relationships, is to be able to have that reciprocal experience. And also that translates into how we hold that for everyone else to feel that they have the space to be seen, reciprocated, and be all of them, and not feel that they have to leave anything on the table and hide. We're going to drop the masks and we're going to walk in fully
Exactly.
open, and whatever comes through that day is meant to.
And you never know, I might cry too.
Probably. That's a good part. That's the compassion. I love that.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait. So, have we left anything out, Mel?
I don't think so. I think if you've got any questions, DM either of us.
Yeah.
If you have any dietary requirements, that's another thing. If you do book, let us know. I'll contact everyone once everyone's sort of booked, and I'll double check with everybody. It'll just be a light meal. I normally like to do a vegetarian style meal because I think when you're breathing and having heavy load in the digestive system doesn't really work. But it'll still be yummy and amazing and warming and nurturing and nourishing, and I think everything that we need to kind of come home. So, yeah, purchase your tickets on the 28th from, do we say 9 to 5? Was that what it was? 9 to 4?
Or 9 till 4. 9 to 4.
Yeah, 9 till 4. Lunch, there'll be snacks, there'll be time to have breaks. And yeah, just go through to Humanitix. We'll pop the link in. It's in both of our bios. And if you have any questions, just reach out.
Please reach out.
Yep.
Also, yeah, and it's just an organic day, just about coming home to ourselves. So, thanks, Mel.
And then you're surrounded by the beautiful property that I'm living on, which I'm very blessed to be able to open my home at the moment to be able to do this. And it's kind of special because you walk out here and it's like, so even though it's not far away, you just get to drop into the energy because it's really held. And I've been working in this house, so we've got some really nice grounded energy in my space now. So, I will welcome you in.
Thank you, everybody, for joining. We're probably going to upload this and put it on both our socials.
Yes.
And yeah, if you want any information, any questions, please go ahead and box away.
Perfect.
Thanks, Mel.
Love you.
Love you.
Hope to see you all soon.